YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. So I'm going to try and keep the story super, super short. Yeah, so basically this is not clickbait. When I was 15 years old, I was homeless. I got myself into a really weird and complicated situation. So let's start from the beginning. Going back to when I was 15 years old, which ironically was 15 years ago. Yes, I'm that old to do the math. So I think at 15, oh God, I was such a mess. I was going through so much, with puberty, feeling like my family didn't understand me and feeling like I didn't really understand myself. At that age, I knew that I wanted to change and I knew that I wanted to transition, and I think when you're 15, you just don't see how things are going to get better. You're sort of stuck in this small 15-year-old mindset. And I knew that if I was going to change my life, I had to do something drastic. So there were these auditions for presenters. It was for a local kids program that was super, super popular when I was growing up. And I get it into my head that I am going to go to Cape Town and I'm going to audition. I'm going to blow the judges away. I'm going to have this fantastic new job and I'm going to have enough money to have surgery. Because if you remember, I think if you guys know who Kim Petras is, she was the youngest person to ever have sexual reassignment surgery at 16. And I knew that, if I do this and I become like this famous presenter / actress, I'm going to have all the money that I need to become a presenter. Perfect plan, right? Nothing could go wrong. So I sell all my CDs, I sell all my shit. I get myself like a bus ticket to go down to Cape Town. Convince my mom to let me go. So at this point I go to stay with my relatives. So I land in Cape Town it was sometime in the weekend. I think it was the Sunday or the Saturday. Land in Cape Town. On the Monday, I go to SABC Studios, and SABC is the South African Broadcasting Network. South African Broadcasting Company. Yes, SABC. So I get there and speak to the receptionist. She introduces me to this guy, and I'm sitting in his office, and he's finding out about these auditions because they were having like this cattle call where all of the teenagers could just come and audition and possibly become a celebrity. So I'm sitting in this guy's chair, and I'm like excited about, okay, this is going to be my big break. This is going to be my big break. He's going to tell me when the auditions are, and I'm going to blow them away. All I remember hearing was him saying, okay, so we missed the boat. I knew at that moment that I was too late for the auditions. So he puts down the phone and he's like, listen, so the auditions were actually last weekend. The weekend when I landed in Cape Town? Yeah, bitch. That's when the auditions were. So, he sort of says that, and my mind starts turning like, okay. How am I going to get to the next auditions? Where are the next auditions? And he says, oh, the next auditions are the following weekend in a city called Durban. And he's all like, like, you tried your best. You tried your best. You came, and at least you tried. And he was really trying to be supportive. And he was like, maybe next year. Who am I? Please. The minute he said Durban, I knew that I had to get on the next bus to Durban. I don't have family. I don't have money. I've never been to that city before. So I call my mom and I'm like, Mama, I missed the auditions. So she's like, "Oh, look, at least you tried. It's fine. You can just come back home. It's not a train smash. Maybe you'll audition next year." No, I knew I needed to get to this audition. So I get on the bus that was going to drop me off in my hometown of King Williamstown. So I get on the bus and I just don't get off. We pass King Williamstown. We pass East London. We pass the next town. And on the bus, they realize that there's a stowaway. So I get kicked off the bus and I literally hike to Durban. I remember being so scared and so nervous when I got on that bus because it suddenly became real to me. I was 15 years old in a city that I had never been to. I didn't have any family. I was in a super, super vulnerable position. And sometimes I always look back at that situation and wonder about like all these trans kids who are homeless and how they ended up there and how, I literally was one of them. So I get to Durban. Excuse me. So I get to Durban and I'm at the bus stop. So I decide, okay, I'm going to center myself around the bus stop. I ended up sleeping at that bus stop and, sleeping on my luggage. No one knew that I was like homeless. Well, yeah, I'm homeless. Because everybody just assumed that I was waiting for a bus. So I'm 15, I'm hustling, I'm trying to get somebody to sort of let me stay with them, just approaching random ass people. And I think by like the third day, so this would have been like, yeah, this would have been like on the Thursday. And plus, I knew that I needed to stay until I had auditioned. Like I didn't go through all of that to not audition. I was going to audition come hell or high water. So by that Thursday, I eventually get in touch with a place of safety because, bitches just used to luxuries such as beds and water and food. So I contact this place of safety, which was a really, really good idea because I got to the place of safety. It's like a children's home. And I told them the situation. They got in contact with my mom. And they arranged that I would go home on the Monday. I knew that if I had gone to the place of safety first thing, there was a possibility I wasn't going to be able to audition. And I'd already put in so much of myself into just auditioning. So then Saturday comes. This is the moment that I've been waiting for. This is like the moment. Saturday comes. The place of safety, they're actually super, super sweet. Valley View Place of Safety. Shout out. Love you guys. I wonder if they're still open. Anyways, on the Saturday morning, the social worker drives me off to the mall where the where the cast calling or whatever it's called, was being held. And there are all these teenagers and kids who are like supermodels, well, not supermodels, but like models, and here I am, this, little kid, nervous as hell, had been through so much to get to that point. It's my turn to audition. I stand in front of the cameras. And yeah, I blow it. It was a really, really bad audition, but I think even though it was a really bad audition, because I put so much of myself and invested so much of myself emotionally on this dream, and I thought this was gonna be my jackpot. They were gonna call me in for the second auditions, people were gonna vote for me, and I was gonna be this celebrity and have money and be able to pay for my surgery and do the audition. And yeah, I go back home. My mom didn't even kill me. My mom isn't even mad. So I get back home, and I just remember driving back into King Williamstown and not feeling like a failure, but there was something about going back to this town where I felt so trapped and so stifled, and no one understood me. And leaving Durban, deep down in my heart, I knew that I wasn't going to make it to the callback. But leaving Durban felt like leaving my dreams. It felt like, yeah, it felt like giving up on my dreams. So I get back home, and obviously they announced the kids who had made it, and I didn't make it. They didn't even show my audition. It was like I was never there. And although it at 15 was the end of the world and a dream had died, tomorrow still came. I graduated later on, and I got out of that town. And if you're watching this and feel lost and like you can't get out of your situation, trust me, you will. Just keep holding on. Thank you so much for watching. It was a bit long-winded, but we've come to the end. Click like, subscribe, and comment. Yeah, I said it right this time. Thank you so much for watching.